Mm. She.
What's going on, guys? Dylan here, back with another Fortnite video. Really quickly, I just want to say, if you guys are new to my channel and enjoy all these videos, remember to subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and you can change your mind whenever you want. In today's video, I'm reuniting with my first ever Fortnite duo. First ever, before any Fortnite duo I ever had, this is who it was. Only the OG fans know who it is. We've made plenty of videos together. This is a video we made in the past. This is over a year ago. Sword Louie, my teammate in SOAR, and he did this right here. Impulse. Oh, what? We hit those, baby. No. Yeah. What? He actually stopped playing Fortnite for months. He hasn't played in a super long time, so I'm about to reunite with him, invite him in here, and we're going to get a win. I'm going to leave the link to his channel in the description below if you guys want to go support him and subscribe to him. That would really help him out. And before we do anything else, if you guys want to support me on Fortnite, go into the item shop and just type in my supporter creator code, Dylan. That's all you got to do. It really does help me out a lot. Thank you guys. You guys are legends. Are you ready? Sword Louie is online. Oh my gosh. I think we have to do one box fight first. I think we have to. Do you really
one box fight, bro.
Start it up. We have to see if you forgot how to play.
I've lost it all.
Oh, okay.
I've lost everything.
We gotta confirm that right now.
It's not even like I beat you though, like on screen, but like off screen, I actually rolled you many times.
I don't know. You used to be way better than me. Way better. I couldn't compete. Tables have turned. You don't have to let me win anymore.
Yeah, totally was letting you win all those times.
All right, first to 5, 1 by 2. Here we go. Okay, so this map is half box fights, half zone wars. It changes every round. This dude's been warming up and everything.
What? Oh, okay. I still got the body. You're born with this. You can't teach this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's what? You can't teach it. You can't teach it. Okay. Oh god, I'm fat fingering wrong buttons though.
No! Oh no! Yes. I ran in like a maniac. I wanted to take your wall. Okay.
I'm not gonna say I've been warming up, but.
Oh, you've been warming up. I told him we were recording a video, and my man, had to warm up for a few hours. He got on at 6 a.m. ready. I had to warm up for a few hours. He got on.
Let me watch this video, bro. This is why it's real. She. Wait a minute. Wait, he's so free. I go great. Ooh, story of Keith Allen if you watch Pro Guys.
Question Crunch, tell me where you at. Your motivation guy is back. So, you've actually managed to do it, guys. We've reached 1 million subscribers. And it's really all thanks to your support. So, a deal is a deal. And it's about time that I hold my end of the bargain. So, it's time for us to tell my story of how I made it to our man today. But I can't tell my story on my own. I need to let the one and only Christoph take it away. Here we go.
Well, in that case, I guess it's time we finally tell the story of Keith Allen.
She. What the heck?
One of the things that Keith Allen learned to do at this point early on in his life was to lose himself in video games and competition. As a kid, gaming was everything. He had a younger brother, Kyle, and they competed together in literally everything.
A younger brother, Kyle. You think so, Kyle?
It was also when Keith Allen first discovered that he had a serious case of gamer rage.
So what people don't really know about me, well, the people I grew up know this very strongly about me, but I had the worst case of gamer rage. Oh my goodness, man, it was bad. I'm so embarrassed. I'm like thinking about like what I used to do. My little brother, I'm 3 years older than him, and me and him would just compete like in every single game. And
Bro,
my little
what
brother
is
Kyle,
this game, bro? Mario Kart, like,
I hate to admit it,
oh my god, bro.
but I think
0.0? It looks so old.
games that we were playing, and so I hated to lose. I really did, and it got to a point where in the middle of the game, like I would always blame, RNG. I would always blame, something just about the game, about my brother, he's cheating, or my friends, or whatever. And I have broken so many controllers. Like I used to break controller after controller. I had broken TVs. Okay, and it got bad. Like I would just throw things. I would just tear things. Like, and it got to a point where I knew it was like taking a toll on me when people didn't want to play with me. Like I was losing friends to play with. Like people would literally say, "I'm okay. You got to take care of it. You don't make it fun anymore. Like take all the fun out of it." And I kind of started having that title as the guy that you didn't want to game with.
And it didn't stop there either. Keith Allen was known as the crazy guy at school. The kind of guy who would turn into a complete madman if he played his sport and lost. He would curse everybody out and throw a tantrum if things didn't go his way. People actually found it hilarious and would crowd around just to see how he would react if things went wrong. Fortunately for Keith Allen, though, it was something he would learn to manage as he got older.
And so I was that guy. Like I was known as that guy. So who I am today, I mean, it is crazy. It's absolutely crazy that now I'm the one that is giving advice to people who do suffer from, gamer rage, and who do suffer from, like just control their emotions. And the cool thing about it is like I understand. I get it because I was there for a really, really long time.
Long before Keith Allen had become your one and only motivation guy, he was just a kid. He was a kid, just like anyone else. He lived with his mom and dad and his younger brother, Kyle. And unlike many of his friends, they all lived together under the same loving roof. But something Keith Allen learned from an early age is that growing up in a loving environment wasn't enough to keep dark thoughts away. He dealt with depression, low self-esteem, and eventually in the 7th grade, he even flirted with the idea of taking his own life.
Jeez, bro, this guy going crazy, man.
Classes, like
Need some chill pills.
And I felt like I was ugly. I felt like I just, I just didn't really feel like I had a whole lot to offer, and I would always just judge myself. And I got to a point where I felt like I had all this pain in me, and I really felt like the world wouldn't miss me if I was
dang.
Like
God, not crazy, bro. Need some chill pills. What did he say?
And I was like, I don't feel
Need some chill pills.
I don't feel that people
Wait, let me check my phone internet.
It was just a horrible feeling like I was the bad guy.
Okay.
People looked at me like a villain. I didn't like the feeling, and so I started to just kind of meditate on what it would be like to kill myself. What would it be like? Maybe people would love me then. Maybe people would miss me then. I started thinking about people that hurt me, and I thought about, well, maybe it's a way I can get back to them. Maybe I can hurt them more if I do that to myself. And so I remember in the process of doing it, I just had this moment, and I call it my God moment, where there was this reality that hit me.
Wait, chat.
sacrifice your entire existence, like, because it's hard right now. And I just remember just crying. I just the knife, I just fell to the floor, and it was like everything that was inside just started flooding out. And I don't know if it was the next day or a couple of days later, but my dad actually found the knife, and he kind of called me over and he said, "Hey, what is this?" And I had no choice but to tell him the truth of what happened. And I just remember his face, I remember his heart, I just remember just the feeling of like, wow, like I almost destroyed my father. And my mom found out. And I think the best thing that ever happened to me was them finding out. That I felt the way that I did. And it was the beginning of a process of just healing. And so I never, ever, ever went back to that moment again. I never, ever had that feeling of doing that again.
Jeez, bro, this guy almost killed himself, man. Chill down, Jamal.
When I got help, when people knew what I was going through, that's when it started. And so that's why I just encourage people that if you're going through pain that is unspoken of, if you're going through hidden pain and hidden fear and hidden torment, you have to get help. You have to let someone know, whether that be a family member, whether that be a parent, whether that be a friend, whether that be a teacher, or someone else you look up to, a neighbor like you. You have to get help. And once you just allow people to know your pain and what you're going through, it is crazy the amount of truth that kind of comes in, and you realize, like, oh my goodness, life is not as what I thought. Like, it's not as bad as I thought, and you begin to get healing in how you see yourself and people around you. So, yeah. I told the truth in that moment because I lied all the time, but I told the truth in that moment because, first of all, I'm a bad liar. I'm a very bad liar. I've never lied that well at all. Like, if I lied, my parents usually knew. But I think the truth is like, I really wanted help. And so because I really wanted help, without really coming out to say I need help.
If you're gonna lie, you're gonna imagine. Trying to lie when you go back to yourself, bro. Imagine.
While he had to face challenges in his early teens, they were still a pretty enjoyable time. All of that changed, though.
Don't worry, child. I'm gonna soon be playing for even Dunkin going to watch your videos, bro.
A great note. I still have friends today. Like, I still have best friends today that are in my life from middle school, from that time. And so, there was so many
blessings. Wait, what, bro? You guys want to hear it? You could hear it.
So when I transitioned to high school, got on the basketball team at this high school that I was at, and everything seemed to be okay. Like, of course, things were challenging and all of that, but there was a moment of low that really, really hit me. 9th grade year was fun. It was great. And then going into my 10th grade year, it would be the worst year of my life.
At Motorcycle Mechanics Institute, you can turn your passion into a career and graduate in less than a year.
Commercials.
When I was 15, my 10th grade year, it was absolutely the worst year of my entire life. Everything was going so well. I was on the basketball team, I had a bunch of cool friends, and then all of a sudden, in almost a blink of an eye, it just went down the toilet. There was a gang that just kind of came out of nowhere and really just started to harass me and, some of my close friends, and to the point where every day I would come to school, these guys would come up to me and they would, try to get me to join their gang, and, they would start threatening me like, okay, if you don't come on, we're going to jump you.
Over time, more and more of Keith Allen's closest friends began to join the gang that had emerged at his school, and it was starting to feel pretty overwhelming. He was threatened non-stop. People from the gang would prank him and tell him that they would jump him if they found him. It's pretty fair to say that in 10th grade, Keith Allen was truly afraid for his life. All of this came to a head one day at the end of track practice. As Keith Allen was leaving practice, he saw a mob of people with weapons heading in his direction. It seemed ridiculous that a school gang would try so hard over one guy, but that's exactly what they were doing. Keith Allen had to sneak out and hide in the school bus before finally escaping. After that point, he would hide in the library at lunch and then leave straight away after school. It was the longest year of his life, and it only came to an end when he eventually transferred to another school where things were finally much more manageable for Keith Allen. But transferring from one school to another didn't mean that everything would be smooth sailing from that point on. In fact, his greatest hardship was still yet to come.
So when I was 17, I just graduated from high school, and I feel like I'm the man. I'm on top of the world. And I remember it was not even a week after I graduated, me and all my friends, we went out to hang out at this spot. And I'm driving, and I have friends who were in 2 other cars, and I have one of my really close friends in the car with me. And so we're driving on the freeway, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, with no explanation, my car spins out of control to the point where I completely black out. We hit a wall and find out that my face hits the windshield, and I wake up in the hospital.
Bro, you
the
got
doctor
lucky,
said that
man.
I broke my jaw in 3 different places. They said I should have swallowed my tongue, and so me being alive was actually a miracle.
After this traumatic event, it was revealed by the doctors that Keith Allen surviving the crash was nothing short of a miracle. According to them,
Jeez, bro, you got lucky you didn't saw that picture, bro.
he should have swallowed his tongue, and if that had happened, he likely would have choked before they could do anything about it. As it was, his face remained so swollen for months due to the operation they had to do on his jaw that he couldn't even recognize himself. There was a point where he actually thought that things would never return to normal. But instead of giving up, instead of letting his depression run rampant and beat him down, he persevered through all of it. And it all made him stronger. Keith Allen used his strength to set himself on a new path, one that was connected to the thing that had helped him get through all the hardship in his life. He wanted to break into the gaming industry.
Try a rib sandwich that lives up to the hype. The new real deal rib sandwich at Sonny's. Part of our new lineup. Along with the Sonny's cube.
Skip the commercial, bro.
No way. No!
His first opportunity to take a step into the gaming world was with the Nintendo Wii. He was hired as one of the presenters for the Wii Channel, a platform-exclusive channel showcasing video games. Here, he was able to play Nintendo games with celebrities and athletes for Nintendo themselves, and it was a fantastic first step into the industry. Soon after all of that, he had an interview with a major gaming network at the time, G4. This TV network was basically an attempt to create MTV of gaming, and it ended up running for 18 years, a pretty popular station, helping to launch the careers of people like Tina Wood, who went on to be the executive producer of new programming for Xbox, and Matt Eisman, who went on to be the co-host of American Ninja Warrior. To put it simply, this would have been a major boost to Keith Allen's career. But then, out of nowhere, Keith Allen's dreams were crushed by his own anxiety. There he was, sitting in front of the woman who was in charge of casting. She had loved him. She knew he was determined to become a major personality in the gaming scene. This was it.
I was so excited, I was very eager, and I met with the person that was the head of casting. And I remember going on this interview, and I walk into the office, I sit down, and she just starts interviewing me. And all of a sudden, as she's interviewing me,
Wait, chat. Wait, chat, I'm gonna end this stream, but do another one, okay? It might not end, it might do, and I don't know what will happen.